Yeah.
So during slavery, the Israelites, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians had yokes of iron upon their necks.
Right.
Come here, brother. You're listening, right? What's your name? Killis? Colors. Nicholas. So what we're out here to do is to teach you blacks who you are according to the Bible. Alright? Moses was speaking to the Israelites, he's prophesying things that will come upon them. During slavery, we had yokes upon our necks. Right? But Moses was speaking to the Israelites, correct? So that proves what? That we are the Israelites. Verse 16.
Bring it out. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
The word Egypt means captivity, bondage. Exodus 20, verse 2. So, God is going to bring us into Egypt again. But it's not talking about literal Egypt.
Right. The book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So Egypt in the Bible is synonymous for bondage, meaning slavery or captivity.
Right.
So Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Deuteronomy 28, 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery or captivity.
Again with ships.
When did this happen to us? Huh? When we came in the Americas by the way of cargo slave ships. 1619. Read on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We will not see our homeland anymore again. Our homeland is Jerusalem.
Right.
You know?
And there he shall be sold.
So once you get to your destination, you will be sold, you know,
unto your enemies.
unto your friends.
Unto your enemies.
So those that enslave us are our enemies. That's what the Bible is saying. Read.
For born men and born women.
For slave men and slave women. Where are you from? Jamaica. So according to the Bible, you would be from the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
Alright? Look on this side. Your father is a so-called Jamaican, right? So these curses also happen to the so-called Jamaicans.
Right.
So the Jamaicans today, who are they? They make up the 12 tribes of Israel, specifically of the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
Alright? Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. So being an Israelite, what does God require of you?
You know?
Huh? Worship? How do you worship God? Sing to him?
John.
Huh? Live righteous. So that's a good answer. We're going to show you what righteousness is according to the Bible. But read Deuteronomy 10. Deuteronomy 10 verse 12.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require of thee?
So, what does God require of you as an Israelite? That's the question, read on.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
So first you must fear God. Read on.
To walk in all his ways.
You must walk in all the ways. That is the mandate of you in this Bible. Read on.
And to love him.
Read on.
And to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
So how do you serve God? It's going to explain it. Read.
To keep the commandments of the Lord.
So being an Israelite, that is what's required of you.
That's right.
To keep the commandments. Alright? So you made a statement earlier. You said, live righteously, right? Deuteronomy 6 verse 25.
Bring it up.
What is righteousness according to the Bible? Huh? Keep the commandments. Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 25. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments.
So that is righteousness according to the Bible. To keep the commandments of God. So are you keeping God's commandments? Sure about that?
Bring it out. Bring it out. The book of Leviticus chapter 19 and verse
Real quick, stay right here. Give me 2 Corinthians 13:5. And the reason why he asked you, what's your name again, brother? Nicholas. I am Sakar. Good to meet you, brother. The reason why he asked you that is because our people walk around not knowing who they are. Like you said, you're from Jamaica. Do you know what the word Jamaica actually means? So you probably going to tell me you don't know. Jamaica actually means the land of food and water. Right. So you can't be land and water. Food and water. You couldn't be that. Those are inanimate objects.
Right.
So who are you then is the question. Well, we already know that you descend from the tribe of Benjamin.
That's right.
From the nation of Israel.
That's
the word Benjamin means son of the right.
right.
So I'd rather call myself, I'm a Benjamite, not a land of wood and water. Because now with the word Benjamin from the nation of Israel, you got purpose in your life. Now you can wake up every day knowing I'm the son of the right. I can't do this, I can't do that. So give me 2 Corinthians 13:5.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourself, whether you be in the faith.
So that's what we are here doing. Asking all the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to examine yourself. Are you really worshiping God? Are you living righteously according to the faith? Because these are things you don't think about. We say, yeah, I'm living righteously. Yeah, I keep the commandments. What are they? I really don't know. So now you got to examine yourself. So here is some commandments. Go to Leviticus. This is just the basic that we're going to give you. So examine yourself, because at the end of the day, you ain't got the answer to me. I'm not here to condemn you. I'm just here to show you where you need to examine yourself. Because one day, you got to stand before the Maker, and he's going to examine you according to his word. That's right. So now we got to see if we live it up according to the faith of God. Read that Leviticus 21.
Leviticus chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Shouldn't be bald-headed. Read on.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
Nicholas, what does it mean they shall not shave off the corner of their beard? Your beard, exactly right. When you shave, when you go to the barbershop, they don't start here and cut, do they? At your chin, they start where? Back here. Read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
Now that's one simple commandment that God gave to his people. They shall not bald their face or their hair.
Right.
Now, you keep looking at this sign right here. This is a depiction of what Christ looked like in the Bible.
That's right.
Now remember, Christ didn't know what? He didn't commit any what? He didn't commit any sin.
Right.
So that law that we just read, where he didn't shave off his beard or his head, was he keeping that or not? He was keeping that.
That's it.
Who is that? Good question.
Bring it out.
Good question.
Yeah.
Give me that. You got it? Revelation 13.
Bring it out.
According to actual historical facts, that is, you see the name on the, yeah, bring it over here. This is Cedro Borgia.
Right.
He was son of Alexander VI of Rome,
Right.
Rodrigo Borgia. He was his son. And what he did was painted an image in the likeness of his son, because his son died at the age of 32 in battle. You can watch it on Netflix on the Borgias.
Right.
It's a TV show, a series, where he paints an image of his son and what happened in 1453 in the Renaissance period, when the so-called white man, who is red, when they came back into power. Renaissance means rebirth.
Right.
They reborn, they said, recreated themselves, and they painted him as the image of Jesus Christ.
That's right.
And that's where his name is really Cedro Borgia, but God calls him in the Bible the image of the beast.
That's right.
Let's see if that's in the Bible. Get that.
Bring it out. Bring it out.
13 and 5, I think it is.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Make sure. 13, 15.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the
It
beast.
said he had power to give life to the image of the beast. So now you got to find out who has the power on the earth right now. Who's running everything? Is it us, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians? Who is it? It's the people that look like this. You might not want to say it, but the people that look like that.
That's right.
You know why we know that? Because they make up the laws. They make up holidays.
Right.
And guess what? Who conquered Jamaica? Who was it? No, it wasn't that. It wasn't Columbus. It was him first. It was the Hispanics. But you ain't that. It was the Britons. Great Britain, right? And the prime minister, when he came to Jamaica, they said, when are you going to give us reparations for enslaving us? He said, no, we're not giving y'all no money. Not at all.
I brought to Prime Minister's attention the issue of reparations, indicating that Jamaica is involved in a process under the auspices of the Caribbean community to engage the UK on the matter.
I don't think reparations are the right answer. The purpose of my visit is to look to the future.
He had the power to say, yeah, we'll give it to you. No, we ain't giving it to you. They are the people that had you in slavery, the British, right? So it said he had power to give life to the image of the beast. How does this picture have life? Where do we see this at all the time? Where do we see the image? It might not look exactly like this. It might look like that. 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 Where do we see this coming to life all the time? Everywhere. One specific place is called the movies.
That's right.
Because this picture can't actually speak. But they do what? Read it again.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the
He
beast.
gives this thing life by speaking through his movies.
Right.
And now people, when he said, what Jesus look like? Oh, he look like that. Well, the Bible don't say that. All the movies and the pictures say that.
Right.
Read on.
That the image of the beast should both speak
It speaks through the movies. Read on.
and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Should be what?
Should be killed.
Here we go. Now let me show you this. It says if you didn't worship, if you didn't accept this as the image of Christ, it said you was going to be killed. When the Spaniards came to America, Hispaniola, where's it at? If you look at this thickness, right here, this is a Roman friar, a Spanish friar. He has a what in his hand? He got a cross, and he's got a so-called Indian, Hispanic, tied to a wooden pole, and they're about to set him on fire.
Right.
Why do you think they hold that cross in front of his face? Read it again. As many as didn't what?
As many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Should be what?
Should be killed.
So if you didn't accept this as the image of Jesus Christ, they put you to death.
Right.
When your forefathers was in the land of Jamaica under British rule, if you didn't accept this as Jesus Christ and them as God's people, they would hang you.
That's right.
So you ask who this is? God says it's the image of the beast that has done what? Deceived our people.
That's right.
That's why when they see each other, most of the time, it might not be you niggas, when they see each other, they see another nigga, I ain't gonna say nothing to him. I'm gonna walk past him, I'm gonna look hard, I ain't saying nothing to him. He better not say nothing to me. I'll fight him, I'll kill him, I'll rob him, I'll pimp out, I'll whore out my own sisters. But when you see the other nations that look like this, yes sir. How you doing, sir? I'll hold that door for you, sir.
Bring it out.
In your mind, you've been mentally brainwashed to think that God and Christ and all the angels look like this, and you ain't nothing but a nigga. Right. So, here's my question to you, Nicholas. What does God and Christ actually look like?
Bring it out.
Do you know? He look like what? He looked like that, right there, right? Where would you go to prove it? That's what you got to do. Give me Daniel 7 and 9 first. Y'all can put those down. Because guess what? This is going to tie back into the commandments and examining yourself if you really walk in the faith. Because if you say you believe in the Bible, you believe in Jesus, you should know what he looked like, right? Right. You should know what his father looked like, right? Right. And then after that, you got to know what do they want of me then.
That's right.
That's why we say examine yourself. So let's see what God looked like in the Bible.
Bring it up. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9.
Let's see if the so-called Jamaicans, who God calls Benjamin in the Bible, let's see if they look like God or if they look like that, or God looks like that. Read.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Another word for God, another title that God has is Ancient of Days, because he was there before day number 1, right? He's the one that said, let there be light, and he made the days. Read on.
Whose garment was white as snow,
His clothes was pure white. Read on.
and his hair of his head,
And the what?
and the hair of his head.
The hair of his head, that God said, don't cut off your hair, Israelites. The hair of God's head was what?
Like the pure wool.
It was what?
Like the pure wool.
No, he had stringy hair.
Like the pure wool.
God got pure, that's in the Bible.
That's right.
God got pure woolly hair.
That's right.
How come they never read that in churches? Because they want you to identify with them. When you see them, you see Jesus.
Right.
And that's why you would never go and rob their house. You would never shoot them down. You would never do no wrong to them. Because when you see them, they have put themselves up as God and Jesus. But it said God had pure woolly hair. Right. Now, give me one of Revelation. Get straight to it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1,
Verse 1.
verse 1.
Let's see what our Lord and Savior looks like, who the whole world says Jesus was white.
Bring it up.
How do you know that? Because when I type in Google, a bunch of white people pop up.
Bring it up.
Well, let's see what the authoritative source says, Nick. Let's read it.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ.
So we're talking about Jesus Christ. We are about to reveal what he looks like. Me show you. Read.
Which God gave unto him to show.
To do what?
To show unto his servants.
The servants of God are the Israelites.
That's right.
Now give me verse 11.
Verse 11. Saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest.
So Jesus told John, read what thou seest.
What thou seest, write in a book.
So what you see, John, write it down in the book. And that book's called what, Nicholas? Revelation, and it's called the Bible.
That's right.
Write it down, because it's going to come a time and place where my people are going to ask, what I look like? Because they've been force-fed religion all their life. So Christ said, write down what you see, John, and let's see what John see. Go to verse 13.
Verse 13. And
12.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake to me.
So John is turned around, and he hears somebody say, hey, write down what you see in the book. And he turned around, he said, I turned, read again.
And I turned to see the voice that spake with me.
So he's looking at who's talking to him. Read.
And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
That's what you see right here. Hold, put that one down. Hold that one, Uncle Leon. Hold that one, and then hold it. Now, you've never seen Jesus Christ on any pictures standing in the midst of 7 candlesticks.
Get up.
They always paint him like that. So they don't have the image of Christ right in no way, shape, or form.
That's right.
He said, I seen the Son of Man standing in the middle of 7 candlesticks, which is called the menorah. Read.
One like unto the Son of Man.
He said, hey, this dude look like Christ. I know him. Read.
Clothed with a garment down to the foot.
As you can see with the brother right here, he got a garment down to his foot.
Right.
This is what Jesus wore. Read.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle.
So his is purple, but Christ's was gold.
That's right.
Full gold. Read on.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
It was what?
White like wool.
Now, I'm going to show you that it's not talking about necessarily his color, because I'm going to read on, but it says white like wool. The first thing he gave you was the texture of his hair.
Right.
Because when we read earlier, what kind of hair does God got? He got woolly hair.
That's right.
And Jesus said, I look just like my daddy.
That's right.
So if God got woolly hair, Jesus got what kind of hair too? Woolly hair. Read it again.
That's right. Revelation chapter 1 verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
It was woolly. Read on.
As white as snow.
As what?
As snow.
As white as snow. So now we got woolly hair and it's white. Read on.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because he drunk wine. Read on.
And his feet.
And his what?
And his feet.
Quick question, Nicholas. Are your feet, the top part of your feet, the same color as the rest of your body? Yeah, they are, right? So if you pretty much look at somebody's feet, his color, his skin, you can pretty much tell who he is, his nationality, without looking up. So his feet was what?
And his feet like unto fine brass.
What color is brass? That's the question, huh? Brown!
That's right.
You got some common sense, Nicholas, because our people, when we say that, they want to play dumb. Oh, it was green. What? You know brass is brown.
That's right.
So it says his feet was like brass. It was brown already, right? Let's see how brown it was.
As if
According to the Bible that we all supposed to believe on, it said Christ is a black man.
That's right.
I didn't make that up. I didn't write the Bible. That's what it said. So now we got to examine ourselves. Are we worshiping and serving the God of the Bible, the Savior of the Bible? Or are we worshiping and serving the one they gave us when Great Britain ruled over us in slavery?
Bring it on.
Because the Christ that looked like this, Matthew 5:17, the one that looked like this, Nicholas, let me show you what he said.
Bring it up.
You can put it down there. Because under this image right here, they teach you that all the commandments of God are done away with. Everybody can be saved, and we all one in Christ Jesus. With that image, that's the philosophy that comes behind it. So let's see like what the one that looked something like this, what he said. Matthew 5:17.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets.
So if you got kids, Nicholas, and you say, this is just hypothetically speaking, if you say, don't you think about doing that, that means you mean business, right? Don't do it, right? Read it again from the top.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law.
To do what?
To destroy the law.
You remember, we gave you a law already earlier that said you can't cut off what? Your beard. The man that looked like this said, don't get it in your mind that I came to do away with the law. Read on.
Or the prophets.
Or anything that the prophet said. Read.
I am not come to destroy.
So he said it twice. I didn't come to destroy. Read.
But to fulfill.
So what?
To fulfill.
What did he come to fulfill, Nicholas? That's the question for you. What did he come to fulfill? Revelation It's stuff written in Revelation that he has to come to fulfill that he ain't did yet. Because Revelation means his future prophecy, right? So it's stuff he hasn't came to fulfill yet. Give me that in Luke 24, verse 44.
Bring it up!
Let's show you what he came to fulfill. Did he come to do away with the laws where you can live however you want to? Or did he come to do something else that would never be taught? Read that.
The book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you.
Back in Matthew chapter 5. Read.
That all things must be fulfilled.
All things what?
Must be fulfilled.
His word, Nicholas, fulfilled. Read.
Which were written in the law of Moses.
The law of Moses.
And in the prophets.
And in the prophets.
And in the Psalms.
And in the Psalms.
Concerning me.
Doing what?
Concerning me.
He came to fulfill what was concerning him. Now you have to ask, where was it written he came to do away with the commandments of God? It's not there.
That's right.
He didn't come to do away with them. Read it back in Matthew 5:17.
Matthew chapter 5 verse 17. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Fulfill what? Which was written of him. Read on.
For verily I say unto you.
Here's the point, Nicholas. I don't want you to miss this point. I know you got a text on your phone, but here's the point. Read 18 again.
For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
And you look up and see heaven right now. Are you standing on the earth? Read it again.
Till heaven and earth pass. One jot.
Not one comma.
Or one tittle.
One period.
Shall in no wise pass from the law.
From the what?
From the law.
From the what?
From the law.
So go back to Leviticus 21 and 5. Christ just said, nothing shall pass from the law as long as you see heaven and earth. So let's read a law that is still in effect.
Leviticus chapter 21 verse 5. They shall not make baldness upon their head, neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
So remember, Christ said, I didn't come to do away with any of the laws. So what one law right now, Nicholas, should you start keeping from this time forward? The law of the beard.
That's right.
Why? Because you're a Benjamite from the nation of Israel, and God gave you and your people commandments to live by.
That's right.
He didn't give you religion. He didn't tell you to be a Pentecostal.
Right.
He didn't tell you to be a Baptist.
Right.
He didn't tell you to be a Seventh-day Adventist.
Right.
He said, keep my laws because you are my people.
That's right.
That's your purpose here on earth. That's what you should wake up every day and say, I got to keep the law. What can I do to keep the law to please God? John 4:24. All right, last scripture before you leave real quick, Nicholas. Last scripture.
John chapter 4 and verse 24.
If you got questions, just come up and ask them. We'll answer them. We got the Bible right here.
That's right.
I'll tell you right after this. John 4:24.
John chapter 4 verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
In what?
In spirit and in truth.
In spirit and in truth. Not according to what you think, not according to what your pastor said, not according to what you have learned, but according to the truth.
That's
the
right.
truth is that Christ was a black man. Christ said, I didn't come to do away with the laws. So you have to worship God by keeping the laws of God.
That's right.
You understand that, Nicholas?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.